Good afternoon. My name is Joe Bandel. I am the last Rosicrucian. Today, uh, I've just been it's like, okay, I just can't bring myself to do some translating or some other task that I wanted to do because the energy's really been kind of weird this spring. And I feel like I've got to do something, but I don't know what it is that I feel uh, would be appropriate. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna just do a talk on magic. Is magic real? And obviously, this is going to be my impression. It's going to be where I come from on this, and it's going to be experiential because the way that I look at these things, the way that I experience magic in my own life, things like that, is gonna be different than that of other people. So to start out with, I'm going to say that do I practice magic? Okay, well, does that mean do I do spells? Do I do rituals? Do I do anything like that? No, I don't. And that's part of the reason why I'm giving this talk, why I'm talking about this, because, for example, Dion Fortune, she wrote about magic circles, and the most powerful magic circle that you can create is your aura. The most magical, the most powerful magical protection is your aura. And your aura does not require casting a circle or a ritual or something like that. Casting circles and rituals technically would come under the category of if you had a group of people and you were trying to link all of their energies together, then that would be an answer. But for simple solitary practice, your aura is your magical circle. Your aura is your protection. Now, most of the what I would call proofs or things that have convinced me about magic and whether it works or not have happened in my dreams, whether they're basically lucid dreams or something like that. And through a lot of them have been through some form of astral conflict or duels, because I've had over the last 30 years probably thousands of conflicts to the point where they don't happen much anymore. Uh, and why is that? It's because the basic premise that I start out with is it's called rupturing the astral planes, which means you generate, or the physical body generates enough energy during the day that at night it sends that energy into the astral in an explosive way, and something pops. And what happens is whatever pops always, always, always pops at the weak link. And in the beginning, the weak link is always inside us. Always. I mean that's where it is. It's inside us. And as the astral resets itself, it it goes back together in a better way, a stronger way. So gradually, these leaks of energy, these energetic leaks that we have, are closed. These wounds that we have are closed. But that requires daily energy generation. And I'm going to say something that's going to come out. Uh, a lot of people are going to think I'm crazy. They won't agree with me. A Navy SEAL and their Navy SEAL training that lasts, I don't know what it lasts, if it lasts 6 weeks or it lasts six, I'm not sure what it lasts, but I know it's among the most intense training in the world. Those people are rupturing astral planes big time every day for the course of their training. And they're developing their etheric body. They're permanently activating their etheric body. Same with Olympic athletes that are training so strong every day. They are creating that magical link, that etheric link. And the big time martial artists the same way. So what you're talking about is magic requires that magical link, which is at the etheric level, which is the root chakra level. And the root chakra is not in your head. The root chakra is dealing with nitty-gritty reality and being strong at that level. And just working with every other chakra is essentially going to be a glamour of some kind. Now, with the exception of the crown chakra and working with the photon light source as light as source, which is kind of an infinite power, infinite source of energy that you can channel, which is at the complete opposite end of the spectrum from the root chakra, from the etheric level or the womb of creation energies. So one's like an eternal battery and the other is, or one's spiritual, that's why one is called spiritual and the other is called magical. And during my first marriage, I was going through a divorce process. It was very messy. My former wife every year would put out legal. She hired a lawyer, and she was creating court issues, legal issues for me. And I was basically avoiding. I was avoiding it. I was trying to magically block myself off from any of that legal stuff. I was not trying to fight it. I was not trying to gauge it. I was trying to just kind of like put a barrier. And in my dreams, I didn't know she was doing these things, but in my dreams, there would be certain times of the year when I found my dream self trying to escape from a trap that was being set for me. And because I was constantly actively working with rupturing the process of rupturing the astral, I always managed to escape. Barely. I could create just a block, a perfect block. Say it won't go this way, it won't go that way. So I could stall, I could block it. And there came a time when it was more favorable to me, I I connected and I cleaned up that area of my life. But what I'm getting at is I found out later she was very frustrated because she said everything that she tried wouldn't work. And I didn't even know that she was trying those things, but I was experiencing those dreams of potential entrapment, of trying to escape from something. So that was, I would call that magical. There's another time when I was driving semi truck and I had this dream about a car cutting in front of me, and I had to forcefully turn the steering wheels to the side to avoid an accident with that vehicle. And it happened the next day. So that dream activity was a magical activity, if you follow what I'm getting at here. Um, the same, and I've already mentioned these conflicts, energetic conflicts, where I would be in, I would be attacked, and I would defend myself. Okay, over the years, I became more and more able, strong and stronger, and able to defend myself until uh, it became kind of a joke, and then it became like nobody messes with me anymore. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that's magic. It's not where you do this ritual and cast this thing or whatever. It's where your energy, your aura is so strong that in astral travel, it could be in meditations too, because if I wanted to do a meditation on a healing meditation or a protective thing, it was just as valid as what if it was uh, when I was sleeping. What I'm getting at is it just didn't. There was no need for ritual. There was no need for anything fancy because everything was simply power. It was simply uh, no weak spot. And our situations in life constantly change. And we may have no weak spots and no vulnerabilities at a certain point, and then something comes up, and all of a sudden there is a weak spot, there is a vulnerability, and that will be energetically tested to see what happens. So it's a process that as you go through life, uh, you got to stay on top of it. But it's real. I have no doubt that it's real. That Matt, you can protect yourself magically. You can alter the outcome of things uh, magically, like with the legal situations where I didn't even know that she was applying, uh, trying to create legal problems for me consciously, but in the astral, these things were trying to work themselves out, and they ran up against a brick wall. But I had to constantly be on the uh, uh, generating energy to keep on top of that. Because anytime you're looking at magic, if you want to talk about magic, it's whoever's the strongest and whoever can regenerate after a conflict. Because when there's a conflict, you got 100 units of this and 100 units of that, and they conflict, all of a sudden you're both down to zero. Or if this person started out with 200, you had 100, they're left with 100 and they win. Or you're left with 100 and you win. Or you're both wiped out. And this is what happens a lot of times. You're both wiped out, and so it ends up in a draw, and the first person able to recharge is going to end up winning. So when I'm talking about magic, it's really not talking about ritual, it's not talking about spells, it's not talking about anything other than having a powerful aura and a root chakra aura. And it helps if all the other chakras are integrated with the root chakra aura, but the magical link, if you want to call it magic, it deals with the root chakra. And what's interesting, and what I'm going to finish this brief message with, is that every 2,000 years, a new chakra center gets lit up, and that becomes the dominant energy. But every great cycle, which we've just gone through and which is just starting fresh, takes everything and drops it back down to the root chakra. And you have 2,000 years of root chakra being the dominant energy. That's where we are at right now. That is where no other tradition, no other type of practice is going to work. You're going to be playing games with yourself. The only thing that's going to work is solid earth connection, a solid etheric level connection. And this is why everybody should be working on that root chakra energetics big time. And what happens when that happens? You're the opposite of living in your head. You get more grounded and more grounded and more grounded. Now I'm going to just add to that and say that ordinarily, naturally, by nature, women tend to be more magical because they biologically have that magical etheric connection to the earth. Men don't. Men can develop that, but women are born with it and they can lose it. But if they lose it, that means there's a split got to happen somehow, and they just become more head shooters or something like that. But so why there you have all these traditions, these mystery schools? Well, what happens is over the course of time, after every 2,000 years and a new chakra center lights up, each new type of energy becomes dominant and it creates its own mystery school. And we just got done with 2,000 years in which the Kabbalah was the big, the way of dealing with, it was the dominant system. And it's not anymore. But there are a lot of people think they're thinking, oh, the Kabbalah, the Kabbalah, the Kabbalah. This is what's where it's going. Or maybe you'd go to somebody who's talking about the heart chakra, and it's dealing with the heart energy and dealing with heart energy. Or it could be the logic and reason type of things. And what's happening is each one of those had their 2,000 years. Each one of those had their cycle. They had the time when they were the dominant energy. Now we're right straight back down to the shaman level. The shaman where it doesn't require anything. It's just a mechanical process. And that's what, when I talk about the oak material, I talk about organic Gnosticism, I say that it is, in my experience, the development of the soul and its powers is simply a mechanical process that requires nothing other than the effort put out. And it doesn't even require effort in a special way because it's just the effort, period. It's to rupture the astral. And just to rupture, the astral ruptures naturally by itself. Twice a day, it ruptures at midnight, it ruptures in the morning or at noon. It ruptures at the new moon, it ruptures at the full moon. So it ruptures, in the months that way. Over the year, you have it rupturing at the winter uh, solstice and the summer solstice. So but it's every 24 hours it's rupturing. And what happens is, let's say somebody wants to, they cast a circle because they believe, okay, casting a circle for protection is what we need to do. They cast that circle, and that circle of protection will stay there and protect, do its job for half a day. Then you need to renew it at night or renew it again. Otherwise, it'll gradually fade away because it's ruptured. The energy's been ruptured and it's changed. And this is something a lot of people don't really, they don't get. It, this, that the astral ruptures all the time. And most people don't rupture with it because they haven't they haven't generated enough energy to break out of where they're at, I guess is what I'd say. So they're as far as they're concerned, yeah, the astral is not rupturing. But that's when you talk about saying a morning prayer, evening prayer, that's where that comes from, is the recognition of every day you have this opportunity for rupturing through prayer, meditation, or something like that. That's why you have these athletes, the Olympic athletes, they're going to have probably be at the gym twice a day. Or you're a real professional martial artists, something like that. Uh, so, no doubt about it, I believe that like those Navy SEALs, special ops people, uh, they're doing magic. They might not call it magic, but they have something inside that is developed and it's magical, and that's why they can get the results in life. And we are now at a point in the world where the ascension process has happened to the point where if you're not strong at the root chakra level, if you don't have that magical link that can save you, your world is going to get pulled out from under you like a carpet is pulled out from under your feet. And you're going to spin, you're going to tumble. So, I'm just sharing that because this is my understanding of it's real, but it's so different than what's commonly understood that I just felt I needed to share that. So I hope people find that interesting. I'll try to put out a couple more topics that might be interesting that way, that come from personal experience as well. So thank you.